Hello, everybody. Happy Monday, and I hope your week is off to a great start. So many of you have been asking me about what do I think that the impact of a second Trump presidency is going to have on the market and housing, et cetera, and so forth. And I really wasn't going to tackle that topic, because I'm like, I don't know about that. But I've been asked every single day, so I'm like, okay, what the heck, because my life is not, exciting enough. So let's just tackle something like that. So I'm going to get into that in a few minutes, but first I want to just do a quick review of some reports that have come out and what's coming up this week. So first up on the economic calendar, yesterday we had new home sales. I'll go over that in just a minute. Today we have the FHFA home values and Case-Shiller coming out. Tomorrow, big day. The Federal Reserve is going to announce what they're going to do with interest rates. Now, some of you may have heard that last week Trump said that he was going to have the Federal Reserve lower rates. The president doesn't have that kind of power. The Federal Reserve is independent of the president. Maybe you'll have a conversation, some influence, but as far as we know, there's not going to be any change in rates at this meeting. But it'll certainly be something interesting to watch, and I look forward to all of the comments after. So the first report, and boy, is it a doozy. Existing home sales report came out, and it is great. So month over month, they're up 2.2%, year over year, up 9.3%. The median home price is up 6% year over year. The average month supply is 3.3, 35 average days on market. And then we have 16% of homes selling over list, and 31% of all existing home sales were first-time buyers. Those are great statistics showing that the market is still very strong. So next is new home sales, and I really want to highlight something in this because you're going to hear something very different on the news than what I'm going to tell you. I'm right, they're wrong. Please trust me. And if you talk to economic experts, they will tell you that I am right. So we have the new home sales came out, and it's showing an annual sales pace of 698,000 units with a median home price of 427,000. So those stats are an annual sales pace increase of 3.6% month over month and up 6.7% year over year. That's all great news so far. The median home price is up 6.1% month over month and 2.1% year over year. But here is where we get into the big news. So the for sale inventory is 494,000 units. The monthly sales pace is 58,000 units per month. So what you're going to hear on the news is that the month supply is 8.5 months, right? So you divide 58,000 to 494 and you get 8.5 months. Well, that's not correct because they're only counting inventory, which is permitted homes. I mean, the homes that they haven't even broke ground on. So to know the actual sales pace, you have to look at the completed homes. And the number of completed units is only 118,000 units. So when you divide 118,000 units by the monthly sales pace of 58,000, you get an actual month supply of 2 months. And that makes far more sense than 8.5 months, especially when you consider that the existing home sales report that we just reviewed shows a month supply of only 3.3. You're not going to have 3.3 months supply of existing sales, supply for existing homes, and 8.5 months of new construction. Those numbers don't make sense. All right. So keep that in mind when you're talking to your clients and prospects, and when you hear things on the news, and correct people because they'll say, "Oh, well, things are just sitting around on the market forever." 8.5 months supply. Not true. All right. So let's talk about the impact that a second Trump presidency will have on our market. Now, to each of the topics that I'm going to cover in this 3-part series, there is a social aspect and there's a financial aspect. I'm going to analyze it from an objective financial perspective, and there is absolutely no commentary intended on any social aspects. So let's talk about tariffs. While there's many different reasons why Trump is doing a lot of talk about tariffs, there's a couple primary ones that are impactful. So number one, he wants to use it as leverage against nations to coerce them to take actions on matters that are in the best interest of the United States, such as in matters of national security, curtailing global aggression, etc., and so forth. Next, he wants to use them to balance out the trade deficit that has existed between the United States and the global economy since pretty much World War II. He stated that he will not tariff or only mildly tariff items that cannot be produced in the United States, which of course makes sense because if we can't make it here, then we need to buy it other places. But he also said that he will significantly tariff items that can be produced in the United States. And the whole point of that is that if we can make it, we should make it here because it's cheaper if we make it and we create jobs. So that is a financial strategy that he is employing for the use of tariffs. So please help people to understand that he's not just out there wielding tariffs like a sword, although he has, and he probably will again. But financially speaking, this is the point. So I want to play you a clip from CBS Sunday Morning, an interview that was done with Jamie Dimon, who is the chairman and CEO of Chase Bank. He also happens to be a lifelong Democrat. And I specifically chose this clip because I wanted to have a juxtaposing view from the other side, quote unquote, of what President Trump is doing. So let's play that clip.
In terms of advice for the new president, he is inheriting a pretty good economy, despite what people feel, all these metrics that you see. But what about advice to him on some of the policies that he's threatening to do that could hurt the economy? For instance, tariffs. Have you talked to him about tariffs? If you could talk to him right now, what would you say?
I have not spoken about tariffs. I think you should read The Art of the Deal. He's a negotiator. He lays out some very tough things, and sometimes it works. We have to worry more about national security, resiliency, diversified supply chains, and we didn't. And also we should have worried more about who it hurt. So while trade's got some enormous benefits, it does hurt that town where the plant closed. We had a thing called trade adjustment assistance, which was supposed to give people retrain, relocation, income assistance if they were hurt by trade. It never quite worked. And so we need to focus on some of those issues. And to me, tariffs are a tool, properly used, that can help get some of those issues resolved. Unfair competition, national security issues. If like any tool, if it's misused, it can do damage too.
But your point is that you think it is a legitimate negotiating tool.
Absolutely. That tool may be a useful tool, properly used.
So I think that was a very measured and metered and reasonable approach to this whole discussion about tariffs. They are just tools like any other tool that we have, like our military or anything else, and it all depends on how the tool is used. And I like his wait and see approach about what happens. So just to give you an idea of some of the impact that Trump using these threat of tariffs against other nations has had, let's just take a look. So we have Chrysler reopening their Belvidere, Illinois plant to build its new truck. Chrysler will also manufacture its new Durango in Detroit, Michigan. Their Samsung is moving production of its dryers from Mexico to South Carolina. LG is moving production of its refrigerators from Mexico to Tennessee. Stellantis will restart their Illinois plant, and John Deere has canceled its plans to open up new plants in Mexico for manufacturing. So all of those are good things. It brings production back here into the United States, which means the products will be produced less expensively, and it also creates jobs. So that is an overview of part one of a second Trump presidency impact on our market. And I look forward to discussing parts 2 and 3 with you later this week. Thanks so much for watching. Please be sure to like and share. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me anytime. I'm always happy to talk about anything here. And have a wonderful day.